I mean, thankfully, I didn't have a serious case. I felt awful, but I mean, I was never in danger of going to the hospital. But yeah, it's just I can see how people with lung disease, heart disease, etc., could really succumb to this. I had a lot of pleuritic chest pain. I think I had inflammation going on in my lungs. I got on some meds right away. Can we
hydroxychloroquine?
Yeah, are we allowed to say that word, or will we?
Yeah, we might
banned?
get banned.
Which word?
Facebook hydroxychloroquine.
HCQ. Maybe.
Yeah, should we come with a fake a code name for it? Yeah.
The thing. You know the thing.
You know the thing. Fish tank cleaner.
CQ. Actually, I didn't take it. I was. I would have had I gotten more respiratory symptoms.
So you're a racist.
And yeah.
So did you like inject yourself with bleach or anything?
Lysol right into the veins. No, I took azithromycin. I took vitamin C, vitamin D, and zinc, which studies say are helpful. And I think it helped. I mean, the main reason I'm better is because I have an immune system that works. So
whenever you feel a new symptom, do you get out your little recording? You're like, patient is exhibiting cold sweats and abdominal cramping.
For himself.
Yeah, for himself. For yourself.
He starts to go crazy and starts like, gets out the clipboard. And, how are you feeling today? And then he runs around to the other side.
Writing yourself all these prescriptions.
That would have made a good TikTok. Should have done that.
So what's your conclusion now that you've had COVID? Is it a hoax?
It was not for me, no.
So how'd you get it? You didn't wear a mask around?
Or 101.5 fever.
Oh, yeah.
Did you go to a Trump rally and not wear a mask?
How did you know?
If you had gone to a Black Lives Matter...
My colleague had it and I was exposed and...
from work?
Yeah.
If you had gone to a Black Lives Matter rally and not worn a mask, you'd be fine right now.
It would have been fine.
Because it's crazy.
I went to the wrong rally.
Because what do you think? Isn't this crazy medical science? Herman Cain went to a Trump rally and didn't wear a mask. He died. Yet have you heard of anybody who went to a Black Lives Matter rally and died?
Amazing. I have not
Nobody
heard
has.
of anyone.
It's really, it's shocking.
We haven't.
The cure is right there. It's like fish tank cleaner, but in a different form.
What I just really boggles my mind is, I've actually prescribed a couple of patients the H word, and it's because they were at risk of going to the hospital.
We should. Sorry,
continue.
We should censor it with flower bed. It's pretty funny.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So just say it and we'll censor it from here on out.
Okay.
So you prescribed the patients what?
Flower bed.
And the thing is, I don't know for sure if it kept him out of the hospital, but what boggles my mind is there are a lot of studies that say looks like in combination with the azithromycin and the zinc and the C, it may benefit the patient. And as a doctor, I know which of my patients are more at risk from the potential side effects. We did EKGs, we monitored, potential interactions. Mm-hmm. And so, just this idea that everybody's trying to get in between the doctors and the patients. And I had a discussion with my patient. I told him about the risks, the possible benefits, and we made a decision and we went forward. I mean,
it is really weird, the politicizing of it, just because the word came out of Trump's mouth.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It seems to be the case. I mean, science is supposed to be open inquiry, open discussion. Hey, this doctor did a 4-week study. I mean, we can't do a randomized, double-blinded, controlled trial in 8 weeks, but we can do, some observational studies. And, oh, look, this doctor showed there was some benefit and nobody was harmed. Why can't we at least consider that? I mean, my fear was somebody would end up in the hospital and I didn't try what maybe was, going to help them, and I would be committing malpractice by not bringing all tools to bear. So,
did you have any Democrat patients who you had to lie about what it was? You're like, this is called hydroxylox ding dong.
That was my first question. Are you Republican or Democrat?
Before I tell you this medicine's name, who did you vote for?
Just quickly scribble on it.
Before we make any treatment decisions, you support Trump?
Or the other thing that could really get you in trouble is if you give some to them, then they're like, oh, by the way, I'm a Democrat. And you're like, oh, and then they see the bottle and they're like, ah, and they die of the fact that it's hydroxychloroquine. I can't say that. But yeah, could be lethal. I don't know.
So
sorry. We're milking that one. So what do you make of the video that came out with the doctors that are like yelling at the camera? Apparently the lady believes like the aliens have like alien sex DNA or something. I'm not following all the stuff. Voodoo.
Yeah, they dug up some weird
mummies
stuff
or something
about that. Yeah.
I've had patients with like pelvic inflammatory disorder, and I never knew that spirit husbands might have been the cause.
Spirit husbands?
Was that one of the things she said? Spirit husbands?
Yeah. And
was that on the video, or is that something that came out about her?
I think that's something she claims, some sort of you're having sex with demons in your sleep, and that's what causes your
pelvic,
I don't know,
issues.
Anyhow,
wow.
Yeah.
But where'd she come from? Who is this lady? Like, there's a
really
group of doctors,
know.
right? But then Trump shared that video.
I think that was a little irresponsible. I think it's unfortunate. The extreme nature of it gave
flower bed
a bad name. I mean, I just want, doctors and patients to make decisions together based on the science and leave all this stuff out of it.
Yeah,
that's really sad.
It felt like too far when I saw it. I was like, she's acting like it's a miracle drug that will solve the entire.
Yeah, there is a cure, and it's called
a cure. Yeah, she's acting like COVID is over.
Yeah, people go too far the other direction, and I think because Trump supports it, they want it to do great, and then those who don't like Trump want it to fail, which I think is really sick. But
yeah, it's weird.
It's just weird.
That is worse. You have to we act like Trump's the bad guy here because he's over pushing this drug. Really, if you really want the drug to fail, that's a little worse.
When the media was breathlessly reporting one study that showed a couple people had some, adverse effects from it, I just didn't understand that at all.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got a couple deaths, guys. Let's hit the papers.
Knew it. So
in a video,
the other irony is,
flower bed
is generic. It's cheap. It's widely available. The pharmaceutical companies are not making any money on it. So if you're anti-big pharma, you would want to promote this.
Does Trump have stock in it? Is that what he's trying to get it to go big?
There's no stock in it. I mean,
like having stock.
I don't know how the stocks work.
It's like having stock in dirt or something.
It's been around 50 years. Yeah, it's like
gotta get that
flower bed
stock up.
I think he has stock in oxygen. It's kind of the same.
So in a video from 2013, Dr. Emanuel attributes infertility, impotence, and gynecological conditions to evil deposits from spirit husbands. A phenomenon where demons and witches have sex with people while they sleep.
Demons and witches?
Demons and witches, yeah.
Those are from different realms, right? The demons in the spirit realm of the witches.
Maybe the witches are controlling
out like in a swamp or something.
And then...
Are they teleporting? So the witch teleports into the bed in a spirit form.
Emmanuel also said there are people ruling this nation that are not even human, describing them as reptilian spirits who are half human, half ET.
I believe that.
I mean,
I missed that class in medical school.
She's probably in a different
Demons
field.
And witches. I must have skipped that one.
Well,
I do recommend applying witch hazel to a scrape or a burn.
Hemorrhoids.
Your video just got glitchy and you look like you got possessed by.
It looks like
spirit
that guy
husband.
from Goonies.
Oh, really?
Does it look weird on your end, Dan?
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
No.
it's just us. Never mind.
Okay.
The spirit husbands are under control.
They're
attacking. Whoa, it looks crazy right now. No, you can't see that, so
It's
we
hard
just
to look.
pretend it looks fine.
Yeah, it's hard for me to look at, but that's
Looks like JFK
well.
Uh-oh.
after he died.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry.
Can't say that.
Sorry.
Okay, so regardless of if these people are quacks, right, on this video, what do you think of like big tech banning medical information or opinions or advice?
Yeah, that's the other side. So yeah, taking the videos down.
Yeah, I think it's anti-science. I mean, science is supposed to be a open inquiry. We're looking at all possible, treatment options. We're studying these things, and again, physicians and medical personnel are trained to look at studies. I mean, I read medical studies and I look at how it was performed, and I don't just wait for it to tell me what to do. I balance all the information, and then, I mean, it really does look to be politically motivated when you have the antithesis of science is to have a preconceived idea about your conclusion before you investigate whatever you're investigating. So if you've already decided this thing's bad, and now we're going to try to find, proof to support our bias. I mean, that's the definition of bias. And so, if a study came along and said, hey, look, this actually helps, I get the sense that everybody's decided already, well, no, we can't accept that information. That's the definition of bias. So it frightens me that, the ability of a patient and doctor to have a conversation about available information can really be harmed by this when people are getting a lot of their information from Facebook, Twitter, and it's already biased. And so it's scary.
Yeah, it seems like thinking it's a miracle drug is not the best. I mean, there's not evidence for it being this miracle drug that solves every problem. But it seems even worse to have this stigmatize it to this point that if it helps, you're not going to take it because there's some political position that it's just so weird that you would stigmatize to this point that somebody would actually need it, but they're not going to take it because they're taking a political side.
Yeah, and there's a couple state medical boards and pharmaceutical boards that are putting all these restrictions for doctors to be able to prescribe this.
Wow.
But the thing is, if it were a new drug, for example, and we suddenly found out it was harming people, sure, I get it. You pull it off the shelf. We do that all the time. This thing's been around for 50, 60 years. We know how to use it. We know what to look for. To suddenly put all these roadblocks, we use stuff off label all the time. We use things that aren't, the FDA says, okay, you can use it for this and that, but we also find, it also helps with this. Well, we're going to prescribe it because we know how to safely do it. I mean, it's just, we're applying restrictions like we've never done before. I mean, everything we do in medicine carries some risk.
Right.
We know that, so we have that discussion with patients, and we've just applied principles here that we've just never applied before. It's really frightening.
Very weird.